Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of my Airbnb data visualization project. In the first video, we explored and cleaned the data using Python, preparing it for deeper analysis. Today we will focus on the interactive dashboards that I built in PowerBI. Using Power Query and a data model with factor and dimension tables like I explored earlier, I created 2 dashboards that highlight Airbnb listings from Chicago and New Orleans. We'll explore the design, visuals, and insights. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe and drop your feedback in the comments. Let's dive in. Okay, next thing that I've done is for the property type and room type. So for the share percent, what I've done is I have taken the property type share for the for which the measure is created here as the property type sharing. You can see that I have divided the count of Chicago listings to like the total rows, the total set of rows. It will count of rows by the count of rows using the calculate function here, and which will count the rows, and also it will take all the Chicago listing rows. That will give the percentage of like total property type share. Similar something is done for the room as well, and if I click on the room type, it is going to give this similar kind of measure that I have created for the same. So here we go, we can see the particular room type share is doing the same thing, and it is going to give the share percent based on the legends here, as you can see. So okay, next visual is going to show the price variation by reviews. So the price variation by reviews is also giving based on the property type. I have taken the legend property type here, and it can show you as the colors change. We can understand that the particular type of property is presently giving the average price of some particular pricing. Yeah, as you can see here, property type of room and bed and breakfast, that is giving that has a average price of $169.67. Also the count of reviews for that particular month is 9, and the reviews are taken by month. We can also fetch them by 12 months, that is 1 year as well. That is also one of the columns which is present here. So we can take it either way, which is required. Moving on to the property by location, which is Chicago. So here in the map visual, we can see how the whole Airbnb property distribution is present in the city of Chicago. This is somewhat giving an idea of how dense the Airbnb is taking up the business and has expanded its business in Chicago. And moving on to the property type is also given. What kind of property is going to be shown in this particular visual based on the location of that particular Airbnb property. Now moving on to the next visual, we have top 5 hosts by reviews, where we are going to take up the number of the names of those particular hosts which are giving the top 5 values. So while talking about the top 5 hosts by reviews visual, the concept that I have used here is creating a parameter table which can dynamically be used to create the top 10 or which can be top 5, top 10, top 15 or 20 based on the slicer selection. So here I have created only the top 5 hosts by reviews. I have used this particular parameter table where I have created a measure which can dynamically create the top end value for both Chicago and New Orleans in the same place. And if we use a slicer for the same, we can also create multiple top end value selectors within the slicer itself without using the static method of creating filter inside the filter panel. So here I have used the dynamically changing visual, which is for the top 5 hosts by reviews. Moving ahead. So while talking about the top 5 hosts by reviews visual, the concept that I've used here is creating a parameter table which can dynamically be used to create the top end or which can be top 5, top 10, top 15 or 20 based on the slicer selection. So here I have created only the top 5 hosts by reviews. I have used this particular parameter table where I have created a measure which can dynamically create the top end value for both Chicago and New Orleans in the same place. And if we use a slicer for the same, we can also create multiple top end value selectors within the slicer itself without using the static method of creating filter inside the filter panel. So here I have used the dynamically changing visual, which is for the top 5 hosts by reviews. Moving ahead, based on the reviews. So as we can see, if we use the particular slicers and filters, we will be somehow changing the top 5 host names or the people names that are the hosts of those particular properties. So this is actually a data from 2014 to 2025, which is over a decade of data. Alright, moving ahead with the next visual is the price variation by property type and price variation with the location type. So the 3 visuals which are based on property, location and reviews for the price variation was supposed to be created as per the requirement. So 2 of the visuals were having categorical data for the particular pricing visual. I created bar chart for the same, and for the variation by reviews, which was a numerical data, so for that I've created the scatter plot. Using the buttons and bookmarks and selection functions, I have made the toggle buttons which could navigate over property and location. So as you can see, when I click on the location button, it is going to give the price variation, which is how the price are varying across a particular location or neighborhood in that particular city. And if I click on the property button, it is going to give me the what kind of property type is present in that particular price range. So what particular property type is having what kind of average pricing. Moving on to the next visual, which is a card visual. As you can see, having the unlicensed host percentage, we have one of the measures created. As you can see, the unlicensed host percentage, it is going to give the number of hosts that are having the properties which are unlicensed. So since 85% of around 85% of the people were having of the hosts were having licensed properties in Chicago, I have created one of the measure which will give the divided part. So as you can see here, total host minus the licensed host, and that total host value will be multiplied by 100. So it will give the percentage of those number of hosts which do not have a licensed property. So the next visual is having the lists per host, where we are going to get the number of listings per host, which means that how many listings are given by one particular host. So that is having a index of 2.39. Like every host is approximately giving 2.39 listings in total, and the next card is going to show the location total, which is for Chicago city. As you can see, there are 76 of listings present for the Chicago, distinct listings for Chicago city. This is based on neighborhood, yes. So we have 76 different neighborhoods in Chicago that are giving the Airbnb listings or property deals. Similarly, we can see the visuals varying for the New Orleans city. So the New Orleans is also dashboard is also giving the same kind of structure. It is going to give the price variation by property type and location type. It will give the top 5 hosts that are taken out by the reviews, number of reviews that are present for each of them. Then we have the property by location, what kind of property is present for that particular location in New Orleans. The next visual will be giving this particular visual will be giving the price variation by reviews, like how many reviews are there and what is the average pricing that varies based on those number of reviews. Also, the next visual we have for the room type and property type share percentage, and also the listings and price based visual, which is going to give the popular neighborhood. So this is all about my dashboard that I've created for each of the cities. Moving back to the intro, if I click on this particular button, it will give this for the Chicago dashboard. It will navigate to the Chicago dashboard, and if I click on the New Orleans arrow, it will navigate to the New Orleans dashboard, and if I click on the back button for that particular dashboard, it will go back to the intro. So that's all about this particular project. Thank you so much.